that intro needs some work. Hello, YouTube. This is going to be my first actual video, and before it goes into speed up motion, it's going to go into speed up motion as soon as I take off, just to get done with the climbing real fast. We are in the Focke-Wulf 198.5, and we are on defending Stalingrad as the map. And here it's going to go, sound's going to cut off, and it's going to go to speed up. Alright, I don't know what to make videos about, so this first video is going to be mainly, right now, I'm going to ask what you guys want to see, whether it be anything from, you know, simulator flight model reviews, plane reviews, I mean, air combat tactics, teamwork tactics, single player tactics, and that's what this video is going to be, is just it's going to be a video of what I do when I'm flying boom and zoom in simulator battles by myself. But I want to know what you guys want to see, so I can get some videos out there that are of your interest. So if you have any ideas, leave them in the comments below. Here on YouTube, don't leave me messages at Twitch, because it'll make me come here and look at your comments and get some motivation to keep making videos, because this stuff takes way longer than I thought to do. So this video, we're in the 198.5, and I'm flying by myself, solo. And this is kind of a unique game because it's a 4v4 with real players, and then there's 6 bots per team. So there's 12 total bots on the map and 8 total players. But the funny thing is before takeoff, one guy left, so makes it one guy left on our team, so makes it a 3v4 for actual players to actual players. And then on top of that, another guy in a 109 just smoked the tents on takeoff. I don't know if you guys caught that, but it was right on the right hand side of out my window, and he just did flips over tents and blew up. So the last guy I messaged in game and was like, well, it's 2v4, we just will stick together. So right now I'm following him, and I decided to wing on him and let him have flight lead. And the first thing he does, you'll see in about, I don't know, a minute here, is he just sees a big furball and does what most people in full real battles do, and he just joins it without any thought at all. And so I am flying wing, so I see him go, I see that he spotted something, and I keep my altitude and observe to make sure that nobody gets on his 6, which he allows somehow, and it ends up, you'll just see, it sucks for him, but I mean, he just joined without remorse. He didn't care. And so what he sees is a P-63 attacking a friendly bot, but what he doesn't see is that there's also a Yak-3, possibly 2, that are attacking the same bot as well. So he's diving down right now, and I'm just observing and trying to keep cover for him. I want him to do the attacking, and I want to just cover for him, make sure he doesn't die. But apparently I failed him. I failed him so hard. So right now is when he actually sees the furball, and I see it behind me as well. I don't know if you guys caught that. And the other thing is that this footage is captured from the replay system, so the audio is kind of messed up. I don't know. It's a beta, and they're supposed to be adjusting it in the 1.39 patch, but we'll see. We will see. And so with this video being kind of what I do in a while I'm flying a boom and zoom, it it really is non-team reliant. Like, to start the match, I wanted to work as a team with this guy, but it ended so quickly that, so right now I'm spamming 6 in chat, and he's just tunnel vision on this P63, and then this Yak 3 comes and just wants it too bad, and he rammed him very nicely, catching himself on fire, and the 190 is going down as well. So now, what was a 2v4 just then turned into a 1v3, and I am the last alive, and the other guy in that fight was the P63, which luckily I stayed high and had energy advantage over him. So now I'm performing my boom dive on him, and he does not see me coming. And so the altitude that I was at when I started my dive was around 3,000 to 3,500 meters. And he is on, like, he is 1,000 meters or less. Like, in the Focke-Wulf, you can dive from almost 5K up to the deck without any problem breaking your wings. You might have to back off throttle, yes, but you can dive from as high as you want in this plane. So the biggest thing I push when flying is altitude. And that kill was just, I mean, me just sweeping in and him not seeing me. It's an element of surprise when you're running boom and zoom, and you can rack up a lot of kills if you surprise people. So with boom and zoom, talking about altitude, when I'm sitting at altitude, well, first, after attacking that P63, I climbed back up to altitude, and I climbed into the sun. I just pointed my nose at the sun and climbed straight up. And what that does is, when you're looking behind you, you can see planes behind you. You can't, like, there's no shadows. Everything's just lit up from the sun, so you get to see everything. While if they're trying to attack you, they're looking into the sun. So whenever you're climbing from a boom pass into your zoom climb, you want to try to make it into the sun. But with that being said, that's usually after your attack. Now with this, I'm at altitude now, and what I'm doing is I'm zigzagging. I'm keeping the sun to one side, and I'm zigzagging back outside of the battle area or area of operation. And what I'm doing is I'm just pushing my way more and more into the AO, trying to find somebody that I can drop on. And in this clip here, I don't see anybody, but I was showing you how I don't get too far away from the sun. I try to stay in the brightness of the sun as much as I can, so that people on the other side of me looking at me are looking at the sun too, and it makes it really hard to be spotted when you're just sitting up at altitude. I mean, I'm kind of just putting around at like 70% throttles, conserving gas, just trying to find somebody, because boom and zoom, you have to have a lot of patience. So that's what that little footage was. And now I've spotted somebody, and I've worked my way above them at altitude before I dropped down. So that was me preparing for my dive to attack, and then I hit this guy good, but I didn't get a crit. Yeah, I hit this guy really good. And then you zoom up. And what this does is allows you to get attacks without them being able to retaliate. If he wants to retaliate and he ended up going down, either he pulled too hard with the damage that I dealt and went into a spin. I don't know exactly what happened. But in my zoom climb, I also noticed this other plane, which ended up being a I-16, and he was going for one of my bots. So then I dropped down on him, and you'll see right when I kill this guy, I'm on the deck. I'm flattened out. I don't have a lot of. I have a lot of speed, but I don't have the energy potential that I did on my very first dive. So what do? Point my nose at the sun and climb up. And I'm climbing fairly fast. I think I'm climbing around 250 to 300. Right now I'm going 250 roughly. And so you don't want to get too slow in your climb. And you just take your time and climb back up to 3,000 meters. And I'm watching behind me. I'm always looking at the AO, and I'm always trying to keep the sun behind me from the AO. So the AO is I am in between the sun and the area of operation, and it makes you a really hard target for people that are in the area of operation. People on the other side of you are people you don't want there. And so the best way to start the match is to climb into the sun, because it'll put you in the best position to not be spotted. And yeah, just did kick over. So I've spotted somebody else. I'm just trying to make this video shorter. Otherwise, it'd be like, I don't know, 35, 40 minutes just with me sitting up, putting around. So I've clipped all of my attacks. And so now they have one player and bots left, because I've killed one crash and I've killed two. And so I realize that this is a bot. I think it's a lag or something. Yeah, it's a lag. And I do a boom pass on him, and legs can turn really well, so I don't want to turn with this guy. I'm turning hard here, and I can't pull that hard. So you just flatten out your wings and climb back up. And you climb to near stall speed, and what that does is lets you turn your plane around with very little energy loss. So that's my high side turn. And the bots try to retaliate, so he tried to climb up, and he can't climb. He didn't have near the energy potential that I did, so he wasn't able to climb a third of what I did. And so you just position on your high side for your next attack. And after killing him, point my nose to the sun and climb away out of the area while watching my tail. And so what I'm doing is, with that zigzag clip, is I'm literally working the outside, the closest position of the area of operation to the sun. I'm working that, and I'm pushing everything away. I'm pushing everything away from the sun as I climb back to the sun after every attack. Every time I'm at low energy, I climb to the sun and get my energy back. And so I do believe I see there's two dots over A in defending Stalingrad. Currently I'm just to the west of B, making my way. I see them. I don't want to just point my nose and go, because what that'll do is put me at the same altitude and at the same energy. I want to get over to them with an energy advantage, so I need the altitude. So I stay at altitude and just putt over and just keep my eye on them. Just gotta stay patient in these planes. And like, um, right now, you're not gonna see me check. I mean, I'll check my six, but I don't check it that often, as like, what the footage that I've cut is me sitting at altitude, looking everywhere, watching my six, watching my front, watching my sides, watching below me. I'll roll over and fly upside down, and all I'm doing up there is just trying to find somebody. And once you find somebody, um, you can determine whether it's friendly or enemy by just watching it for a while. So they might shoot bullets. They might get hit by AAA. Um, you just have to sit up there and watch. Like, think if you're flying a boom and zoom, especially the Focke-Wulf, just think of yourself as like an eagle, and just keep your eye on the dot and determine what it is before you go down there, so that you know that the energy that you're putting in to your dive is going for something, going for an attack. And so that was an SU2 that took me head on, and I totally thought I rammed him. I must have flew like through his propeller or something. I don't know. It was crazy. But I did get hits on my first pass. Um, and these SU2s have these AI SU2s have so much energy, or energy retention. It is insane. They're kind of even hard to fight when you have a massive energy advantage. But there I hit him again. Now he's smoking. But I didn't get a crit on him. Like, if you crit bots, just pretty much, I don't know, it's hard to say let him go, because I've lost matches because you crit a bot somewhere and it's like lives for like 2 hours. But if I get a nice crit, especially if it tells me what I critted, I'll usually just leave them and go to the next one. And so that was an IL-2 bot. So these are both bots over here. And this is one of the most dangerous times is when you're over the top of somebody doing these bounces. You know, you're gonna have people seeing you shoot. I'm using stealth ammo, so that's not gonna be the case here. But they can see you diving down. They can see a fight happening if they're if they're looking at the right time. And so I dove back down the IL-2, caught him on fire, and I know that the SU-2 is smoking, so I point my nose at the sun and regain energy. Because I spent a lot in those 3 or 4 bounces. I spent a lot of my energy, so I'm at a low energy state, so I just climb out. And I'm watching my tail because I see the SU-2 following me, and I also see another dot back there. So I presumed that it was the enemy player, but it ended up to being one of my friendly bots. But I point my nose at the sun, even if that's a bot, and if the other guy were to be a player, he would have a hard time following me because he's looking directly at the sun. And I get to look directly out of the sun and watching him because that's the way I'm climbing. It's like the safest way to climb. And so this is the longest clip. And right now I've racked up 4 kills, 2 enemy players, an I-16. Oh, I've racked up 5 kills. 2 enemy players, an I-16, a leg 3, and an IL-2. And I have an SU-2 damaged. And there's still I believe the last guy's in the Yak 3 because he had killed one of my bots when I'm doing all of this stuff. So I know that he's in a Yak 3 somewhere. And so I climb clear out of the area and look, and I turn back towards the SU-2, and I check my 6. And I'll check it again because I know the SU-2 is damaged, but I don't want to go back over there because I lit up. I mean, one bot over there, and if he knows that the bot over there, I'm waiting for him to go over there to check. I want him to check, and then I check my 6 again, and I see him. No bot is going to be over by my base, so I'm like, all right, here's the last guy. I have a lot of energy. I was climbing fast, so what I do is a big zoom climb, Immelman turn, keep that energy, and I turn into him. And I presume he's going for a head-on with me, but I don't think he ever saw me. I think I went under his nose, but my head-on is from just the right angle that I get to shoot at him, and he's not able to shoot at me. But I failed to hit him. And what he does wrong is pulls way too hard into me. Notice I did not pull at all. I'm still climbing towards the sun. I didn't pull a single bit. After the merge, I want to keep as much energy as I can. So I just go into a shot. I just keep climbing straight after the merge, and then I go into a really steep climb. And he's in a Yak 3, and he can climb really well. So he's able to come and merge with me again. And he pulls really hard. And what he's doing is he's not being energy efficient. He's not conserving it. So you'll see him soon pull really hard again because I don't have a shot here, but I'm starting to line up for a shot. And he pulls really, really hard and ends up stalling the wing right there. So I'm like, nice, he stalled it. So then I try to pull right in behind him, and then I fail miserably. Make him stall again. I know he has to drop to get his speed back, so I pull high, keep my energy. He can outturn me like in two full rotations. He'll be on my 6, so I do not want to turn with him at all. I want to be fighting in the vertical, and I want what he wants to do. Well, right now he wants to run, but what he needs to do is try to get me in the horizontal plane. He needs to fight me in the horizontal. And as you can see, he's trying to fight me in the vertical because he's trying to climb, and I'm not allowing it. I'm making him have to waste energy to try to climb up to me. So he keeps stalling. I'm still not hitting him at all. He stalls, dives away, and this is just going to keep repeating itself until he's out of altitude, because every time he pulls, he's burning energy. And I make him pull hard again, and I just pull up. I didn't even go for a gun solution there. I just keep my eye on him, and I just keep the harass. You just got to keep the harass up, because I know that he's the last guy, so I'm not worried about other people on the map right now. And he's flattened out, trying to run to base. No, he's not even running to the base. He's running to the sun, but I make him pull really hard. And I thought that I had hit him there, and that sounded like a crit, but it wasn't. It was my team capturing one of the objectives. I never hit him at all. And then right there, I look behind me, and he literally, I lost him, but after watching the replay, he literally disappears. Like, he goes from a rendered plane to a black dot. I was just like, that is amazing. I was like, well, now I'm not surprised that I just completely lost him, because he disappeared. And he ended up pulling super hard and crashing. And the SU2 had crashed before that, and I never got the kill for it, so he went down too. But that is